Hey guys, welcome to week 27 of ConnectsU, and this week's topic is resume building. Your weekly objective for the week, we hope that by the end of the week you can say, I can write a resume that includes my qualifications, skills, and work-related experience. So last week we talked a little bit about the cover letter, which is what you would turn in with your resume. This week's going to actually be outlining the resume. We also talked last week the importance of being truthful and honest on your resume and not putting things that you really can't do. So it always reminds me of this clip from Friends where Joey would have been better off to just be honest on his resume.
Okay, can you really tap dance?
No.
It's off the resume. Archery?
No.
Horseback riding?
Would fall off a lot.
You can drink a gallon of milk in 10 seconds.
That I can do.
Come on, you can drink a gallon of milk in 10 seconds?
All right, watch me. Okay, you time me. Ready?
Ready, go.
All right, so just a funny little clip about lying on your resume. So we're going to work on thinking this week of what you actually are good at so that you do not have to lie on your resume. The first thing I want to do is with hiring statistics. It's important to know some of these things. According to Inc.com, on average, every corporate job opening attracts 250 resumes. So these are corporate, meaning big-time companies like banks and things like that. So on average, every single one position that's open, they're getting 250 resumes to look through. Then, based on that 250 people, only about 4 to 6 people are actually going to get an interview, and only one ends up with that job. And it's been known, according to Time.com, recruiters spend an average of 6 seconds reviewing each resume. So that's why it's so important to make sure that your resume is clean and neat and it's spelled correctly, there's no grammatical errors, and it just looks perfect, because if somebody's only spending 6 seconds looking at you, otherwise you get tossed right in the garbage right away. So it's important that you do your best and make sure that everything looks correct. First off, what is a resume? A resume is a document that's created to present your background, skills, and accomplishments. And most of the time this is done in order to try to secure a new job. What exactly goes in a resume? So what we're going to work on this week for a high school resume, because things are going to get different the more you actually have a career, but some of the things that high school students should be putting on their resumes: contact information. So you want to make sure your full name's on there, not a nickname. You want to have your email address, your phone number, your address. You want to have your education, so your high school that you go to, did you get a diploma, anything like that, what was your GPA? Your work and volunteer experience. So if you have a part-time job in high school, whether it's the pizza delivery driver or a server, a host, and anything that you've done volunteer experience. So for your senior project, you have to get 20 hours community service. That's something that is nice to add onto your resume, that you did volunteer at a particular place. Activities. So this is things that you participate in inside and outside of school. Your accomplishments. Again, you want to target it more towards school-related accomplishments, but also if you were, a player of the week in basketball or something like that, any accomplishment in or outside of school you want to put on there and note. And then references. It's important that references, they are not related to you. References can be teachers, coaches, principals, people that were there when you were volunteering and worked at that particular place. So references are people that will just put in a good word for you and can vouch for your character and your work ethic and would tell that person, yeah, you should hire them. But again, they cannot be related to you. Some sample high school resumes, and you can refer back to these when you're making yours this week, just to kind of get some general ideas here. But these are just kind of two ways that you can do a high school resume. The most important thing about it, though, is that they look neat, there's no spelling, and that you include those 6 major things that we discussed. I do want to show you, before we get into the reflection, how to, when you are going this week to build your own resume, you're going to go into Google Docs. So however you get into Google Docs, you're going to get in there, and then you're going to do the template gallery. So open that up a little bit more. And if you scroll down a little bit, right here is all these resumes. These are already perfectly formatted for you. So if I click on this one, it's going to open up, and then all I have to do is delete and replace the information that's in it. So where it says your name, I'm just going to delete. You don't want to leave it say your name. And I would actually type Chelsea Gibbons. And then filling in your address here, and then your skills. So that right now, everything that's kind of default is written in Latin. You want to delete all this text and put in here, what are your skills? What are you good at? Your experience. This would be any work experience, volunteer experience that you have, your education, any awards that you've won. So this is just a simple template that you can just delete and fill in. So this does not have to be a really time-consuming project for you this week if you use one of these templates. And then basically for your reflection for the week, I X'd out of it accidentally. All I'd like you to do in a private comment in Google Classroom is tell me, what are 3 things that you should include in your resume?